I wasn't really planning on watching a bunch of stuff about the LA wildfires, but Andrew Callahan came out with his boots on the ground interview video for this situation. You guys might actually see me cry on stream today because anytime I watch stuff about this, like I start tearing up a little bit. I suck it back up because I don't cry. I'm a man who doesn't cry, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be too much today. We'll see. His editing team works fast. God damn. Like, this situation started, what, 3-4 days ago? Maybe 4 days ago? He's already got a video put together? I mean, his editing isn't, like, the craziest stuff in the world, but still, to be out there, gather all the footage, do all the interviews, get it all edited with music and everything, that's so impressive.
There was no help, no fire department, not in our area. We didn't see one until now that they're coming by.
On the flip side of that, I can sit there and say, well, you need to do something about the homeless cabins. A lot of the fires lately, especially in California, are the homeless. Also the mismanagement of the forest. It's just a situation like this. You had the Palisade fire start, and then you had this one start. You're stretching the resources.
The firefighters,
so there's two different fires going on? Or like there were two different
but you're
points
really not going to stop
where the fire started?
Fire like this.
Bro, I've never seen anything like this. It feels like literally like an apocalypse. This is my old elementary, engulfed in flames right by my mom's house. Yeah, bro, everything just going to shit right now.
We were here over 40
There's like
years.
4 fires now? That's insane.
Just seeing stuff like this is...
Today I found out that Izzy's cousins, she has some cousins that live out in California. Their like childhood home burned down. I don't know if they were still like partially living in it or what. There's a whole situation with, I don't know, but that burned down.
It brings me to tears, bro. I just had to go water down my homie's house, took his bird. Homie was just chilling. He left him there because he left him last
Thank
night.
God he actually saved his pet.
I can't leave animals there, bro. No animal,
you can't.
No life.
Some people do, and that's so messed up. What was it, last year? There was a video of someone who left a dog tied up to a fence during Hurricane Helena. Not just lit free, like that would still be bad. Not just set out into the world, defend for itself, but literally chained up to a fence as the water was rising. That's so messed up. That's so messed up. And luckily they found the guy who did it. Thank God. And he got arrested. Are we back up? We should be back up. Seems internet is still a little spotty. We might have a couple moments of that. Let me run a speed test real quick. Yeah, look, we're not doing too hot. Luckily, download speed right now is not as important as upload speed. Like, look at that upload speed. How is that way faster than my download speed? That's insane. Seems it's not perfect, but we only died for a little bit as opposed to the entire time. All right, let's jump back in.
California.
You're fucking Altadena, homie.
There's smoke and fire all around us.
10 people have been killed in the devastating wildfires in Los Angeles.
And the thing is about those 10 dead people is, like, that's just the people they know about. There's gonna be so many people who they just straight up don't know about. And how many people just are straight up cremated at this point? I mean, as we continue in this video, and if we watch a couple others, you'll see the metal on cars is literally melting. And that takes a lot of heat to do, to have it melt, and then not just melt, but like run. There's pictures of driveways where the aluminum off of wheels is literally running down the driveway. So if it's doing that to cars, like how many people are just straight up gone off the face of the planet? So I'm looking to the side here because I saw some frames dropped, but I think we're okay.
This is one of the 5 wildfires that have broke out in LA in the past 24 hours.
It just, I don't know, it just keeps sparking up back by itself. It just doesn't turn off.
As you can see,
it's causing brick and concrete homes to collapse.
Survive.
That takes a lot of heat too. Yeah.
Pretty depressing. We're going to talk to some people around here and see how they're being affected. So let's get into it.
My name is Susana Larios, and as you can see, my house burned this morning. We just lost everything. Thank God that we're all alive, that we were able to evacuate. And
sorry, the video's not loading. We may have to watch this in 144p. Oh, this goes all the way up to 4K. Here, let's just lock it in at 1080. If that's too much, we'll do 720.
That we were able to evacuate and, go to safety until now that we return back to see our house gone. This is unreal. We've been here for 13 years. Everything is gone. We didn't even get a chance to actually take anything out of our house.
Was there anything in the house in particular that you feel like you're really sad about not being able to get?
Our family pictures.
There's your point,
our
Jeremy.
dog's ashes.
Ooh. Oh, I don't even want to make the joke. I don't even want to make the joke. I might make a couple jokes tonight, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make some of them.
We had them cremated and they were in our house, and just those personal belongings. Everything else is material.
Double cremated.
It can be replaced, but memories, when they were young, my kids were young, I will never get those pictures back.
What's one of your favorite memories here?
We had a pool, so
Yeah.
family times, barbecues, summer. This is the place to be. I think
It sounded like a silly answer at first, but
our dog decided to jump in, so we went after
He
him.
actually fell in
That
the
turned
pool,
really
and we
wholesome.
went in a swampy pool and rescue him from drowning.
Oh, you did?
Because he didn't know how to swim, and he was running around in a circle and fell in the pool. So
Was that the same dog whose ashes was in there or a different dog?
no, it's the same.
Nike.
The same. Yeah, the same ashes.
What kind of dog was Nike?
A bull
terrier.
terrier.
Yeah, that's the pool.
We had a pool table over there. It's gone. This is the back house to the house.
man,
Can't see not even one room. It's a two-story
just the
house.
concrete stairs
Fire insurance,
remain.
is that something that you had?
I hope so. I mean, yes, that's one of the things I remember talking to our agent. State
Ooh,
Farm.
ooh, I know what's coming up next. Assuming he talks about it. Maybe he doesn't. Ooh. Let's see. If he doesn't talk about it, we're going on the rant.
And hopefully we do have that insurance.
State Farm canceled
There we go.
hundreds of homeowners' insurance policies for residents in many of the same areas in the path of the Southern California wildfires. The insurance company's reasoning for canceling policies was due to concerns about the increased frequency and magnitude of wildfires in the state. The company deemed the decision a necessary business strategy to prevent, quote, financial failure.
I sent her the picture of the house when it was burning. So, she's going to give me our policy number and help me out with whatever I can.
Well, I hope that insurance covers a lot of this stuff. That's what it's supposed to do, right?
Yes, I hope so. We'll see what happens when we reach out to them, if they can help us. But everything else is gone.
Do you have an email address for people out there who might want to help you and get in touch with you?
Sure. It's Estrada.
I'm just waiting for it.
STRADA_S@yahoo.com.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I know it's a sensitive time, so thanks for giving us the time of day.
I wonder if he's going to keep going.
Unlike the Pacific Palisades area on the west side, an affluent area where many celebrities' homes unfortunately burnt.
Okay, I don't think he's going to go in more depth about it. State Farm. Let me see if I can actually pull up an article about it. Or maybe a video.
Well, State Farm is being accused of canceling thousands of fire insurance policies in California right before the massive wildfires.
And more at 10, thousands of homes and businesses have since been destroyed as wildfires do continue to ravage parts of Los Angeles County.
Yeah, Shabnam Dinesh looked into these accusations and joins us now. So, Shab, what were you able to find out?
Thomas,
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is not there.
With some even calling for violence against executives. So I reached out to State Farm to get the facts.
Oh, not a good look after all the health insurance debauchery. Insurance has been getting it. If there's one good thing to come out of just all the evil and malevolence as of late is insurance is, I mean, they've been under the heat for a while, but they've been getting absolutely roasted lately, and I really, really hope that some form of change comes, because it's so messed up to be paying people. I like how on the side there's me over here. Sorry, that threw me off. It's so messed up. You're paying these people all this money every month, just in case you have an emergency, and then the emergency comes and they're nowhere to be found. And to an extent, I get it. In a place that's susceptible to fires, it's going to be harder to insure those people because they're prone to this issue. And then if that issue does come up, as it has, that's going to be hemorrhaging money out of the insurance company. And same thing for health insurance. The way health insurance makes money is they have to weigh like the risk reward of the different people on their insurance. It's going to be much easier to insure someone who's not at very high health risk, and then the high health risk people, it's going to be really tough for them to get insurance, and a lot of times they're more likely to get denied coverage. And it's such a scam, dude. It's such a scam. Like at this point, like I think it's safe to call it a scam, because let's say that I tell you, hey man, when you're hungry, I'll make you a sandwich. So I promise you a sandwich. You just have to tell me you're hungry and you get that sandwich. But then I start making that promise to other people. Hey man, you want a sandwich when you're hungry? I'll make you a sandwich. One day, 20 people are lining up in front of me saying they're hungry. And now I don't want to make sandwiches for all those people. I don't got enough bread. I don't got enough deli meats. So in one sense, I get it, but maybe in a realer sense, I shouldn't have been promising all these people sandwiches.
Turns out the Bloomington-based insurance company stopped accepting new fire insurance applications in California back in May of 2023. That's almost 2 years ago.
One thing I will say is I was under the impression that they canceled insurance like in the midst of all of this. That's what I thought was going on. This is still bad, but it's not as bad as I thought.
State Farm says the decision was driven by inflation, increasing frequency of natural disasters, and challenges in the reinsurance market. That's insurance used by insurance companies to reduce risk covering major claims. Then in March of 2024, State Farm announced it was not going to renew 72,000 policies in California on a rolling basis. The company also contacts the customer in advance of their policy expiration date. Now, I asked a spokesperson for specific numbers in Los Angeles County, but was given the statement. Our number one priority right now is the safety of our customers, agents, and employees impacted by the fires, and assisting our customers in the midst of this tragedy. Now, California does have a state fire insurance program called the California Fair Plan, but those policies often have higher premiums and less coverage than private insurers. Rebecca.
We'll have to see if State Farm or other insurance companies actually want to step in and help with this debacle. I'll be honest, I'm not very helpful at this point. But I think out of all the things, that makes me the most mad. That these people who are struggling, who gave plenty of money for this specific purpose, and now that the event is here, they can't get that help. Ugh.
Down. Altadena is a diverse, working-class suburb located just north of Pasadena in the foothills of the Angeles National Forest. As we've seen, many in the area have
renter's insurance just in case something happens. In a lot of states, I think in Illinois is one of the states it's legally required to have
wildfires. However, many locals understand,
or if not legally required, a lot of
unprecedented, and that
a lot of places
first
where you rent from
doing
require
everything they can to keep the fire contained, which is particularly difficult due to the state's crippling water crisis, a situation that by all measures is a direct result of climate change, overconsumption, and corporate greed. Many people don't know this, but LA and San Diego have been out of water for years and now purchase most of their fresh water from privatized corporations like the Wonderful Company, owned by a billionaire couple called the Resnicks, who systematically export drinking water from agricultural counties.
I only just started learning about this the other day.
Has already caused devastating ecological and health impacts on communities like Bombay Beach, California, which we plan to cover in an upcoming video.
Hi, Mark. How you doing?
I don't know. It all depends on if they can save the seed.
But back to Altadena.
Everybody stretched in from the Palisade fire to the Eaton fire here on the east side of Pasadena, over by the museum, the Silmar fire, 210. So it's already, everybody's already stretched in and trying to cover all these hot spots. It's like, which way do you go?
Yeah.
So,
I heard that some of these firefighters have literally
firefighters
just
and
been
first
going
responders,
for 3
everybody
days
stretched
straight,
in, we're all trying
no
to help
sleep.
the best
Kudos
way
to
we
them.
can. Stuff like this, there's no way to prevent it because how can you prepare for it? I mean, how can you prepare for it? And once the winds picked up, the embers traveled, and then the power lines going, one little ember plus high winds, just the smallest little fuel source, it just sparked, whether it's leaves, canopies, from easy ups, anything like that, everything just went up.
Like many others, this concerned citizen that we talked to decided to take matters into his own hands and stay put to protect his neighborhood, despite evacuation orders issued by the city.
Me, I was born and raised here, my childhood home, so I did everything I could to save it. We're a pretty tight-knit community. My next door neighbors, we all grew up with each other since we were kids. A lot of my buddies are, coming through with supplies and generators. We managed to save, my dad's house, next door neighbor, and these 4 houses. With the help of some other guys, we wet all the roofs, the floors.
Got the fires out first. The fire started over here, and then my son and I, we just kept the water and kept all the ambers from jumping from house to house. So
we managed to save some houses on the back street in Navarro. We managed to save those with water hoses. We managed to survive, but, unfortunate for my other neighbors, they didn't make it. Yeah. All their stuff is gone. It hurts. Yeah, it hurts. Just gone. Nobody deserves it.
While some people were able to stay back and protect their homes from catching on fire, others followed city orders and evacuated, with the hopes that they'd get lucky and their house would be spared. However, most people in Altadena did not get so lucky. As you walk through the neighborhood uphill toward Angeles National Forest, nearly every structure is destroyed, aside from a select few. Here's an interview with National Forest. Nearly every structure is destroyed, aside from
The American flag survived. I don't know if it's a sign from God or what. But goddamn.
From a select few. Here's an interview with the recently evacuated family who returned home to find their house burnt to the ground. This is a very emotional interview, so viewer discretion is advised.
And this is what I was bringing up earlier. Look at those rims. Look at those tires. Just straight up melted. Man, he's not even stepping in to talk to them. With the good kid, Mad City van.
Is this your house?
Yeah. We were here for over 40 years.
40 years, damn.
We had to evacuate early this morning about 3:30. There was we saw the fires, but we didn't think, that it was going to reach this low. We were just able to leave with whatever we had on and, a little bit of clothes, but not really. We lost everything we had in the house. Pictures, memories, everything's gone. We don't know what we're gonna do now.
So was it the embers coming from the mountain caused some of the houses?
Yes, because last night it was about, 5 o'clock when we saw the fire, or a friend, her sister drove by Eden Canyon and she took a video and she told us, but we didn't think anything of it until we started seeing that the fire started moving, quickly. But we didn't think, that it was going to come down this far, But we just got up and left around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
So about 12 hours ago.
Yeah. And the winds were really, really strong, and it was pitch black. So we panicked. So we just got whatever we could, because she has 2 little kids, my 2 little grandsons. We just got whatever we could, and we just left.
What was the most important item you think was in the house?
My parents passed away, so their pictures, her baby, her kids' pictures. But That's the least, of our problems. We got out alive and we're okay,
Aside from that, do y'all have insurance or anything like that?
No, we don't. We rented it. We didn't own the house, but we rented. But still, we lost everything. We don't know what we're gonna do now. It'll take us time to pick up and, start over, but it's gonna be hard.
If somebody wanted to donate to you, to offer you some help and some aid during a moment like this, is there any way that someone could do that? Like, do you have Zelle or something like that?
We have cell that are
Okay.
connected to my husband's phone number. Mine is through email. It's L_Espinosa68@yahoo.com. Anybody that wants to help is deeply appreciated.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Man, I was getting close at the end there. I barely even have anything to say, really. I had this one pulled up too. 9,000 structures. I don't even know how to explain how to visualize that.
To you, what you see behind me
It's
here
just a
is
lot.
a pile of misery, and it is not unique. There are several communities and neighborhoods and residential areas that look just like this. This was a shopping center, and beyond that, a school, and now you can't even figure out what it is. Tonight, everyone in this area is praying that the winds don't pick up. A firefighter telling me that the smallest ember with those winds
25
can turn
starting
into a
off with the
blowtorch.
bank. Yeah.
This is what the most destructive wildfire in Los Angeles.
I don't know, I just found it a little odd that just the fireplace is left standing. It makes sense.
Los Angeles history looks like.
Everything is gone.
The toll of the devastation is staggering. Thousands of structures already obliterated, more than authorities can even count. The burn
Damn.
area in the Pacific Palisades
Now
bigger than
that's a shot.
authorities can even count. The burn area in the Pacific Palisades.
This looks like this literally looks like
the fire killing 5 people.
I think the death toll will rise. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's going to rise.
These apocalyptic conditions now in their 3rd day, and
this kind of looks like when the Covenant invaded Earth.
0% contained.
This is one of the eeriest scenes we've seen so far. These were the cars that were abandoned when people got stuck in gridlock and had to run for safety. A bulldozer came through here to let fire crews out. Those cars were spared, but these cars right here.
Oh, the bulldozer video is crazy. I had that pulled up too. I want to watch it.
And us on the phone now is
I saw a little bit of it.
Who abandoned his car.
So basically, for context, people were evacuating, but so many people were evacuating at once. Traffic just came to a standstill, and it got to a point where they just ended up getting out of their cars and walking because they weren't getting anywhere. And so you have this street for rows and rows and rows worth of cars. I'm sure they'll show it here. 12,000. Wait. No, I thought that was related to the cars itself. This road was filled with cars. I wonder if we'll see footage. And they literally had to take bulldozers like this to move the cars around so that emergency vehicles could get through.
Earlier today, and that's exactly where Robert is. Adam, before we get to the property here, how are you doing?
Well, we're all fine. My wife and I and our dog are fine. We've evacuated, and we're with some friends in West LA. And as far as we know, our house is fine too. Car does not seem to be so fine.
Adam, we understand you were driving a black Audi. Is that the first one that's right there at the beginning of the dozer?
Yeah, that looks like the car. Yeah, that's it.
So describe this.
Literally his car getting pushed
Why
around.
Why did you have to get out and go?
So my wife and I were in the car with our dog, and we thought everything was going to be fine. We were just going to go down Sunset to PCH and just get out of there. But the flames started, like palm trees near us started catching on fire, and then some flames came down the hill to the point where they may be like 10 or 15 feet away. And either a fireman or a policeman, I think it was a policeman, started telling everybody, get out of your car if you want to live. And he wasn't, just telling everybody, get out of your car, leave things, leave the car. You need to go now, or the fire's going to burn you.
That had to be terrifying.
It was pretty terrifying, and the smoke was really thick, and there were like burning embers on the ground, and it was pretty scary.
So
And they're all nice cars too.
LAPD, I presume. What do you do at that point? You obviously abandoned the car. Where do you go?
So we actually had my wife and I were both out. So we had both come back, and my wife was driving that car, and I couldn't get to her, so I parked on PCH, and I walked up to her, like about a mile and a half. And so I had gotten to her, so we actually had another car. So we walked down PCH to the other car, and that's the car we took.
Yeah, I want to know where everyone else went. I mean, they're saying they had another car to go to take a different route.
Getting out of there.
Adam, do you know?
But that's not the case for probably anyone else.
As far as we know, for some people who haven't evacuated, the house is fine and doesn't seem to be in any immediate trouble. Our house is at the top of the hill.
I wonder if I can. Let me see if I can pull up a good image of just like the rows and rows of cars. I don't know how to make this full screen, so we'll just have to analyze this very closely. But that's what it looked like before this dude finished clearing out.
They took their keys.
Just rows and rows of cars, and I'm pretty sure this guy says that it goes on for like 300 feet.
Out of the way. So if this is your car, unfortunately, it's an emergency situation, and this is what they have to do. They are moving the cars as we speak. Unfortunately, there are dozens of cars. This looks like a movie set.
Oh, more than dozens.
LA County Fire, they have to do what they have to do. They need to clear a path. So literally, they're moving the cars, the SUVs. We're seeing Mercedes, very nice vehicles, Teslas up here. But that's because the car owners, they took their keys and they just started running. They left the cars here as the firefighters were trying to clear the pathway, clear the roadway. This is an emergency situation where, they need to get up to the homes. They want to make sure people are not trapped up there. But this line of cars probably goes about 300 feet deep, at least as long as I can see from this bird's eye view. So we're kind of staying back. They're in a situation here where they are literally moving these vehicles out of the way. Yes, it is causing damage, as you can hear from the screeching noises.
Damn, that's some loud screeching. And this guy's just got like rows and rows of cars to go through. God damn. Also, before I forget, it's right here. Perfect. Give this a like. That was a good video.
We're stuck.
All right, we'll watch this one, and that'll be the last wildfire thing to look at.
And today's stunning video showing the threat to Los Angeles' infrastructure as the Eaton fire approached the transmission towers on Mount Wilson, threatening radio, cellular, and broadcast signals citywide.
Jesus.
Roughly 2,000 firefighters are still stretched across the front lines, but it's not enough. Residents pitching in to save their own homes.
This is a tragedy. You just never think it's going to be you. And now that it is me, I can't tell you the amount of heaviness in this disaster.
We met the Champion family who lost everything.
What I would give to do dishes in our own house, which is like so basic, but things that you take for granted, all the life that we built here.
And the threat is not over. Last night, new fires ignited near more heavily populated areas.
Damn, watch that helicopter just murk that fire, though.
Near more heavily populated areas, the Sunset Fire.
So I heard they can't actually do a lot of that because of the heavy winds. It's just too dangerous to be flying helicopters around there. There's been points where it's slowed down enough where they can get in like a few rounds of this, but for the most part, that's just not really an option they can go with.
New fires ignited near more heavily populated areas.
But it's crazy to see how much that can.
Near more
how effective that is.
Areas, the Sunset Fire triggering rush hour evacuations in the heart of Hollywood. Miraculously, a break in the winds let crews attack the fire from the air, stopping the blaze before it could reach homes. These firefighters are going non-stop, 60 hours battling more than just the flames.
How's your water pressure been? Water pressure's been a big issue. We have had hydrants, dead hydrants. So we've been having to go back to Sunset Boulevard to get water to come all the way out here.
The smoke hasn't cleared and anger is growing. Many questions loom. Was Los Angeles prepared?
we will absolutely do an evaluation to look at what worked, what didn't work, and to correct or to hold accountable any body, department, individual, etc.
Failing water pressure and hydrants leading to a heated moment. A fire victim challenging California's governor.
Why was there no
heated moment? A fire victim challenging California.
So one time when I was maybe 4, I used to live in a cul-de-sac, and there was a fire hydrant on the cul-de-sac. One time it opened up. There wasn't a fire or anything. I don't know if someone if someone opened it up or if it just like happened on its own. I don't know what the situation is, but that thing opened up and it spit water 30, 40 feet in the air. Like, me and all the other kids in the neighborhood were running through it, just having fun. I don't know. I was a small child. It might have not have been that tall. But point is, that was like a lot of water shooting out of it. And here, look at this, just barely coming out. That looks like a normal hose.
California's governor.
Why was there no water in the hydrants, Governor?
That's all literally.
Is it going to be different next time?
It has to be.
While the cause of the
The
fire
next time
is still
is fucked
unknown,
up.
the damage is incalculable. Before and after satellite pictures show the story. On the Malibu coast, a row of after satellite pictures show the story. On the Malibu coast, a row of multi-million-dollar mansions laid to waste. 40 miles away, this view from Altadena, a middle-class neighborhood dotted with destructive fires.
It's a wasteland.
For those coming back, home looks like a hellscape.
We couldn't even recognize it on our way up here.
It literally looks like
we're 1 block from our house because everything was so different. There's no
it literally looks like the first level of Doom Eternal.
There's a break in the weather. The winds were a bit more favorable today, but the situation is growing more serious this evening.
That's right. Firefighters are still working around the clock. Officials believe the death toll will likely grow as they check out more neighborhoods. And there's one more thing they're warning about tonight, and that is looters. If you can believe it, Lester, people are coming to areas like this and stealing what little people have left. So far, there have been at least a dozen arrests. Lester?
All right, Tom, thank you. The task of fighting such a massive area of fire is immense. And as Morgan Chesky reports, the struggle for water is complicating the fight on the front lines.
I'm surprised it's only a dozen arrests.
Relentless firefight far from over. Frontline crews facing challenges that only start with the flames.
What do we got going?
So what we have is the fire's already burned through here.
What we're looking at right now could have been caused by a single ember.
One ember could have caused this.
We join Los Angeles Fire Captain Adam Van Gerpen in the Pacific.
So we don't know where it started from quite yet. You know, natural wildfires happen all the time. And I hear the situation in LA is there's a lot of like dead bush and just dry wood and just like it's very dry out there, so very easy to burn. It could have happened naturally. Now, one hot day, sun's hitting just right, something starts on fire. If it was accidentally caused by a real person, it's very dry. You just touch the ground, it sucks the moisture out of your hand. Man. If this was started by a person, imagine being the guy who did this. Hold on, I just realized the door to my bedroom's open. Let me close that real quick. Like, remember a few years ago when another fire was caused by someone's gender reveal party? Imagine this situation if it was caused by something similar. One person could have made a mistake, just got a little too crazy with s'mores suddenly. Suddenly, thousands of people's homes are gone. Thousands of people are homeless. All because of your s'more.
Pacific Palisades.
This hydrant has no water in it.
Where lack of water, critical to battling a still active wildfire, frustrated crews. This one from San Francisco.
What should the water pressure be right now, ideally?
I mean, you want 50 to 80 is your ideal hydrant pressure.
And what have you got?
I'm bouncing between 0, 50. It's not a consistent pressure.
As nearby hydrants failed, water pressure fell. Firefighters above switching from offense to defense.
When you run out of water in that engine,
not much we can do then. We came on, this is our first job for the day.
Flames burning for precious minutes before any reinforcements could arrive.
Had we had water earlier on in the firefight, we probably could have stopped it from getting this big.
this This is something we have not seen often, but when the hydrants are dry, crews have to rely on these tanker trucks because the fire waits for no one.
The situation, a familiar one for the captain, a 25-year veteran of the LAFD. Mere blocks away, another call coming in for another home up in flames.
If we had any wind right now, completely different firefight?
100% different firefight.
Just feet away, $1 million view burned beyond recognition.
There's not even a single home from this entire viewpoint that we can see that has survived.
If you had officials in front
Crazy
of you right
how a lot of the
what would you
trees
ask
are
for
still standing
to have
though.
had
Not all of them, but a good number of
fire
them.
hydrants, more airdropping capabilities. We need more of everything.
Tonight, these crews doing whatever they can with whatever they have, fighting a historic disaster head on.
And Morgan, this all coming out of a red flag warning. Do those remain in effect?
Yeah, Lester, they absolutely do. And that's one of the big concerns of the crew we embedded with today. They tell us that one ember can travel up to 2 miles. And that is why until that red flag warning expires at 6 p.m. on Friday, everyone needs to stay on guard because a potential fire could pop up almost anywhere. Lester.
Morgan Chesky, thank you. And the view from space shows the magnitude of the fire in Altadena.
Jesus.
Part of the
This image gets me right here. Look at that. I don't even really know what to compare it to. That's like Harvey Dent's face right there.
Fire zone. And for so many returning home today, there was little left. Gotti Schwartz joins us. And Gotti, you spent the day in Altadena. What did you find?
Lester, heartbreak. We found so much heartbreak, people coming back to nothing left at all. In fact, this building right here, this is the outlier because this building still has walls up. So many of the homes that we visited today were down to the foundations, a bunch of melted metal and piles of ash.
In Altadena today, desolation and eerie silence, punctured by gas lines still spewing fire. In the destruction, there was a search for anything with meaning.
This is everything you own.
Everything. And then, now we're just trying to find something. I mean, I don't care, like my kid found a teacup, half a teacup, broke. She was thrilled. I mean, what else can we get, man? It's gone, bro.
As the flames descended at 4 in the morning, Rupert Garcia tried to fight back.
This tree caught on fire. Embers were flying all over the place onto the house.
One ember even scorching his cheek.
At what point did you realize that, I'm not going to save the house?
When my son-in-law grabbed me like this and said, no, we got to go.
Wow.
And I was like, no, man. And I turned around and I was like, man, I can't go, bro. 51 years, man, I've been in this house.
Shortly after Rupert was forced to flee the neighborhood, we arrived to find what felt like a hurricane of fire. In the chaos, we spotted a horse alone and trapped in an inferno.
No!
This is firefighter Garrett Mora jumping to action.
I was keeping him cool. I sprayed some water around him. And
today, when we met up with Garrett again, we learned the horse survived.
Not the horse.
Across the way, Jose de la Torre shows us what was the garage full of landscaping tools he had just invested in. Now his livelihood, along with almost everything else, gone in an instant.
Gotta save the
They
animals.
escaped only with the clothes on their back.
I didn't get anything. This is it. Look at my shoes. See? These are my house slippers.
Tonight, that is the shared and terrible reality.
You work hard for your American dream. And
for so many in a community who came face to face with these flames. Gotti Schwartz, NBC News, Altadena, California.
And earlier in the broadcast, we told you about the looting happening in some areas, and now the sheriff announcing a curfew in the fire zones. Steve Patterson joins us. Steve, what more do we know?
Lester, the sheriff tonight saying there have been more reports of burglary, more reports of looting in fire zones like this. To combat that, more resources, more boots on the ground, including, we're hearing, the National Guard expected to be active in both the Eaton and
what even is there to loot?
And yes, a curfew, if not implemented tonight, then tomorrow night, starting at 6 p.m. every night to 6 a.m., with the goal being avoid more further victimization.
There isn't even anything.
People are already suffering so much. Lester?
All right, Steve Patterson, thank you.
The engine right here.
As wildfires continue to rage in California, one estimate says
If you're out there looting those houses, man,
$20 billion.
you're just dumb.
The loss is incalculable.
That's not even a good business model.
She believes her grandmother, Arlene Kelly, perished at their home in the Eaton fire.
I thought she would be like 99, you know, just walking around.
Their house of more than 40 years burned to the ground.
Are you worried as you rebuild that you won't be able to get insurance anymore?
Possibly, yeah.
Ooh, they're
difficult. Where do you even start?
7 of California's top 12 home
They're
insurers
bringing up the
either paused
insurance
or limited
up too.
policies over the last 2 years. State Farm, which has 21% of the
State Farm just getting dragged through the mud right now.
market share in the state, announced in March it was making the difficult but necessary decisions that would mean not renewing 30,000 home policies in the state, ending 69% of its policies in the now.
The CEO over there is sitting, just going, whew, dodged a bullet with that one. Imagine if we had to insure all these homes. Imagine if we had to do the thing we were actually paid to do. Man, we're really lucky.
Now devastated Pacific Palisades.
Insurance in California is horrifying.
In Altadena, Dustin and Aaron Rubin say they were dropped from another insurance company last year. It was only last month they finally found a company that would give them coverage.
I wonder how many other people weren't able to get that policy at the 11th hour because you worked very hard to get it.
More and more Californians are turning to the state-created insurance provider of last resort called Fair Plan, a temporary safety net offering basic coverage when people can't get insured through private companies, with enrollment in home policies surging 123% in the past 4 years. Ricardo Lara is California's insurance commissioner.
Once people submit their claims, when should they expect to see the money?
So it all depends. I know it's difficult. A difficult answer. I want to make sure that we get it as quickly as possible. Weeks, if not a month.
Experts say those who have suffered a loss from the wildfires
Dub that
should
guy
keep
if
track
he's
of
actually
all expenditures,
working
start
on
going
that.
through photos and videos that can be used as evidence to
One
show
of the
what was in
few.
the home, and document everything. Something many here are doing right now.
And the governor here in California telling me he expects these fires to be among the most costly disasters of our lifetime. So many losing everything, and the process of being made whole just getting started. Lester.
Liz, thank you for that. Finally tonight, the Palisades fire destroyed so many houses of worship, but one is still standing tonight, and our Jacob Soberoff is there.
Everything across the street from the synagogue burnt down, but the synagogue is still here. What's it like to see it?
Surreal.
Unbelievable.
For Rabbis Amy Bernstein and Daniel Schur and Cantor Chaim Frankel, seeing the Kehillat Israel synagogue standing amid so much devastation is staggering.
Look at this. This is the ash that came through the door?
Yeah.
Knowing what happened outside of these walls and seeing even just this piece is...
The remnants of the Palisades is right here.
Wow. This is the community in which I went to preschool.
Yes.
My siblings had their...
Dang, it looking pristine in there.
This is now a refuge for the entire community, not just the Jewish community.
You know what, Chaim? You could fill the sanctuary with your congregants who have lost their homes.
Correct.
Yes.
At least this home is standing for so many people.
This is gonna get me crying.
This is our home.
Oh, this one might be the one to do it.
And disaster strikes, we turn to our faith. And that's what this represents. I sing this lovingly for our community to heal.
It's nice that there's at least one positive note like this. There's at least one building for people to go to.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news.
Oh my God, they should have ended it there.
Top story.
They should have ended it there. I can't believe they brought him back on after that wholesome moment. I'm not Jewish, but I love their chants. Dude, that was beautiful. Man, after that roller coaster of news coverage, ending it on that, damn, that got me a little bit. Not even a little bit. Y'all almost saw me tear. Y'all saw me tearing up, but y'all almost saw me cry. All right, that's the last of the wildfires for today. We'll leave that at that. That's one. This is one for the history books.